Hi, this is Jim Lowe, and welcome to another one of my high country video chronicles. I'm back in Yosemite today. It's October 2nd. I'm in the Parker Pass Creek drainage again. This time going in for a quick overnighter. Plan to fish Spillway Lake and then head up to Parker Pass Lake. And tomorrow on the way back, hit Upper and Lower Sardine Lakes on my way up over Gemano Pass. Conditions are a little better than they were a few weeks ago in that it's not as smoky. There's still smoke in the air, especially up high. You still see the smoky skyline, but down near the ground, I'm not detecting any smoke at all. Temperatures are pretty much going to be the same, so mid-20s in the evenings, and hopefully high 60s during the day. It's about 9:15 right now, and it's just starting to warm up. It's about 40 degrees. It's been in the low 30s most of the morning. I picked up my permit at the Tuolumne Meadows permitting station today, which is, that was an interesting affair. In the national forests, you can pretty much go and print out your permits online, or you can have them dropped off in a drop box, depending on the national forest that you're visiting and what their requirements are. Last year when I had a permit for Yosemite, I was able to print it out online because of COVID, but now that they've got the permitting stations back up and running, you have to pick them up in person. So that means picking them up the day before or picking them up the morning of before 10 o'clock. And so today actually was the first time I'd ever had to go to the wilderness permit station in Yosemite and pick up a permit. And it was interesting in that they basically sat us down for about 30 minutes and gave us a brief overview of all the regulations and what we can and cannot do, all that sort of thing. Now that's all stuff that we're supposed to be familiar with. We're supposed to have read before we pick up the permit. The wilderness, the National Park Service and the Forest Service, they've got videos on how to maintain fires and the proper distances away from lakes to camp and trailheads and and that sort of thing. Some of the permitting systems even have a quiz that you need to take before they'll issue the permit. But this is the first time that I've actually had to sort of sit there and go through sort of a little mini course with somebody. So it was kind of fun. One thing that I did learn is that the current fire restrictions are that I can have a fire above 8,000 feet and below 9,600. That's interesting because I can't camp in the national park. Where I am hiking into is restricted camping. There's no camping in the Parker Pass Creek watershed. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over Parker Pass. I'm going to go into Inyo, and I'm going to camp in Inyo. Now, can I have a fire in Inyo? I don't know. So if I get cold, I guess that means pitching a fire or making a fire at one of the lakes that I'm at, warming up, and then hiking over to Inyo to sleep. I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll see. Hiking this time of year can be a little dicey in this area. You never know what the weather is going to be like. And so we're sort of on the cusp of it being, you know, warm during the day, really cold at night. And so it's a little tough to really know, you know, what to wear. So to that end, you know, today I've got 3 hats. I've got this one, which is a fleece hat. I've got my wool beanie. I've got my baseball cap. Always switching them on and off depending on the temperature. You can see I'm wearing the Outdoor Vitals jacket, which, you know, I've said in the past, has a limited temperature range. Really somewhere between 45 and 60, 35 to 45 if you're backpacking, and 50 to 55, maybe 60 if you're light hiking, and then, you know, 60 if you're just tooling around. But you know, I've got to be careful not to overheat. So, especially with all this stuff I have on, I'll probably stop soon and take off a layer. I've also got my new Fall Raven pants. These are the winter versions. They don't have the pit zips, the side zips, to open up when it gets hot. So, you know, being that it's on the cusp, I just need to be really measured in my hike in today. Make sure I don't get, you know, super sweaty. So I've taken off the jacket and the gloves and the heavy hat. I'm not going to show this trail in too much detail. I've got other videos on the channel that do that. Starts out forested and it's sort of rolling, and then it opens up and you're somewhat more exposed. And so I like to keep the heavier clothing on until I get to the part where, you know, I'm getting more sun. It heats up, and then beyond this part, it starts an incline. So I keep the heavier clothes on for, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour, and then I'll be like this till I get to Spillway. So I'm making the final ascent up to Spillway Lake, and I've been thinking about that that talk the ranger gave us this morning. A couple things that were interesting, you know, that I took note of. One is that at any given time, there are 500 to 800 people in the Yosemite backcountry. 2, they've had to euthanize 3 trouble bears this year alone. So one of the things that's different, I guess, with the national parks than with the national forests is when you get your permit, you also get a slip to report your bear incidents. And they use those bear incidents to determine whether or not, you know, you have a problem bear. Most bears should be afraid of you. You know, some bears have learned not to be, and those that have learned not to be and are aggressive, well, you know, they become a problem. The other thing he mentioned was, you know, where we should camp, and made a specific note about not camping or pitching our tents on top of anything that's living, right? So, you know, you come to a nice flat area with grass, your inclination is, hey, this is going to be a great place to camp. He was saying that. And of course, you know, when you do that, sure, you know, common sense is you might be injuring the plant in some way because you're crushing it. But he was saying that, you know, in the fall, you know, when the plants start going dormant, they're particularly susceptible to damage, which I thought was interesting, something I didn't know. I'm cresting the bluff to spillway, and of course, as soon as I do, I start to feel the wind come up. I'm gonna eat first and then fish my way around the lake. It's about 11:15, so it's taken me 2 hours to get here. I want to be off this lake by 1 o'clock, I think. I think from the outlet, it's going to take an hour to get to Parker Pass Lake, and since I haven't fished that before, I do want to give that a good shot. Now, you know, here in Spillway, I'm hoping to catch browns. You know, middle of the day is not the best time to fish for brown trout. Brown trout, more so than other trout, are sensitive to light. So, you know, typically the best brown trout fishing is when you've got the, you know, the long shadows on the water, early morning and at dusk. But we'll see. I was hoping to wade this morning, but I didn't bring my waders. I thought my waders were in my pack. I had packed everything last week for a trip that I didn't take, and I thought my waders were in my pack, but when I went through them at the car, they weren't there, so I'm gonna have to go find them. But anyway, hopefully I'll get into some browns. I'm gonna stop first and eat, and then get to fishing. So I've come to the spot that I want to fish. There are 3 other folks fishing on the other side. Ooh, I think I just spooked a fish as I walked up. I don't know if that's a rock. I keep seeing a swirl right there. Do some due diligence. Throw a cast in there. Before I walk up there. Nothing. The wind is coming from my left. Typically I find fish right out there. So just a quick couple casts, see if there's anything that I'm gonna spook as I come in here. Get out into some deeper water. So I just fished through an area that's usually fairly productive for brown trout, but no fish shelling. I saw a brook trout jump out of casting distance, which is, again, I wish I'd brought my waders. So I'm just going to make some quick work of this bank. I've got to go halfway around the lake to get to the outlet, and once I get to the outlet, then I'll head up the outlet to Parker Pass Lake. Well, I was into my first fish, and then I grabbed the camera and it got off. What a drag. Okay, I switched to a stillwater nymph, and straight away and then it'll fit into the fish. I'm not looking forward to this cold water, I'll tell you that. Well, that's not a bad looking brookie. 9 or 10 inches. Yeah, that's a nice fish. Yeah, it's a nice brookie. And it's got that weird mouth thing that they tend to have here. I'm not sure what that's all about. But I've caught several fish that look that way. So there's a bunch of submerged rocks over here next to some deeper water. Figured I'd give that a shot. Wind has really picked up. Another nice brook trout. Fly out there without tangling on anything or losing it in a tree or the grass or a rock. And that's not quite where I want it. That's better. Second countdown. Strip, strip, pause. Strip, strip, pause. Strip, strip, pause. Mend a little bit. Strip, strip, pause. Strip, strip, pause. Okay. Make one more cast and then move on. I don't want it to go there. I want it out there. I don't want it there. I should probably fish that, but that's not where I wanted it. There we go. Okay, time to move on. A fish, but it's not moving. But it looks like it has white fins. So let's see. Yeah, it's a fish all right. And he didn't take it. He went for it, but he didn't take it. Okay. So I threw in another cast and he went for it. Smaller brookie than the other two. Nice little fish. That's what I like to do here, sight fish. I'm not seeing too many cruising fish. I've got on my standard, I've got the beadhead gold ribs hares here, and this one you can see is just all chewed up. And then again, one of my standbys, Denny Rickard's Stillwater nymph, and this is what they're hitting today. So that should be where Parker Pass Lake is up there. So I'm gonna quickly skirt around and head up. It's getting late. So I'm headed up the bluff to Parker Pass Lake. My guess it's on the other side of this bluff, and it looks like from the map I can just go around to the left. I don't think I need to climb that ridge, but we'll see. Wow, look at here. Huh. Those are some molars. And what do we got here? Backbone. Wonder where the rest of it is. So the creek comes out of the lake. So all I really need to do is just follow the creek. If I remember correctly, once at the top of this little bluff, there's not that much. I mean, it clears out a little bit in terms of all the shrubbery. What I want to do is just avoid walking through all these shrubs. I hate it. Now up over that saddle is where Emery and I were on Labor Day. So as I'm walking along in these shrubs, I'm getting you know, all sorts of sticks and seeds and whatever else you know, in my shoes that's accumulating around my ankle. And so I just found a really cool feature of these pants. It's this thing right here. They've got a built-in cuff, so it's elastic, and I can just bring it. I can bring it all the way around and then attach it there. We'll see if that's going to help at all. So I've gone along to the left, and it looks like I've got some visitors. Wow. Oh wow. Now that I stop and look, yeah, I can see 4 deer, 3 of which are standing, 1 is laying down. That's cool. Wow, what a view. I almost didn't turn around, but I went high when I should have gone low. The lake is pretty much where I thought it was going to be. I was a little, how am I going to get down from here? I thought it was on the other side of this bluff, and it looks like it is. I was a little worried I was reading the map wrong and that it would be hidden in here, down in here, and obviously it's not. So got to get down from this little bluff, cross over, and then head up the hill and over. Okay, it looks like the lake is right there. The question is, what's the best way to go to avoid all this shrubbery? That's steeper, but there's less shrubs to deal with. And it may be steeper on the back side of the lake there, whereas this kind of gradually comes up to the lake. Okay, I think I'm going to choose steep over shrubs, but I think if I, next time, if I go to the far left of that valley where I saw those deer, I can come, right up along here and then double back to the lake. So far, just getting a workout, and there's nothing wrong with that. Aha! Avoided all the shrubbery. Look at those bucks. There's like six bucks over there. There's a doe, and there's a doe, and they're heading up the hill. Nice sized bucks though. These are some healthy deer. I must have run into a small herd. There's nearly a dozen of them, and there's a buck behind those trees. Let's see if he's gonna show himself. Doesn't look like it. Look at them all. Wow. And another doe. There it is, finally. It's a beautiful place. I head over towards the outlet and put my jacket on, eat a little bit, and then do some fishing. I'm not sure if that's smoke or if those are low clouds. It's not really coming out on the camera from what I can see, but I don't know, fog or smoke. The forecast was for sunny, so hopefully I don't get any funky weather. This lake is pretty amazing. It's this really sort of a turquoise aqua blue color. I don't know if the camera can do it justice. Okay, let's check this place out. Lots of wind. Yeah, oh, it's cold. Not seeing any fish, but it's choppy, so I'll try to get closer. Wow, that is such an unusual color. Okay, I guess I'm going to start prospecting here, and I'm going to work my way up along this bank and then come back. It doesn't look like I can pass there. And then hit the trail. Now this place looks pretty sterile, which I'm thinking probably means they rely mostly on terrestrials. I don't know. I have to take a look at the rocks and see if I can see some caddis or anything. But it's crystal clear. So if they're cruising fishing here, you know, big dark shadow should be pretty easy to pick up, I hope, even with the chop. So far I've not seen any fish, I've not seen any bugs. There's lots of algae, lots of rocks, so I've been trying to drop my fly down by the rocks, hoping there are fish underneath there that'll come up and get it. The temperatures are starting to drop, and whatever that is moving my way. Okay, I've moved up a little bit. There's a drop off right off the bank. Looks good. Still not seeing any cruising fish. The temperatures are dropping, but still got the sun, so that's keeping me warm. Well, I'm just not seeing any active fish and having no luck prospecting, and I'm not real sure I want to stay out here and chase fish. So I'm gonna hike to the end of the lake here, and then if I don't see any fish, I think I'm gonna hit the trail. I don't know what that is. Whatever it is, it's got me a little nervous. It looks like it could be a snowstorm. I have no idea, but it's coming in. It's coming my way, and it's thick, whatever it is. So yeah, nothing going on down here. I think I've seen enough of the lake to say that you know, there's just not going to be very much action, at least not unless something changes drastically. And with the temperatures dropping, I don't see that as being conducive to better fishing. My original plans were to spend the night out here, head out over this bluff, spend the night on the Inyo side, and then hike back towards the Gemano Pass side. But it's only 3 o'clock. I've got more than enough time to head out to Gemano and check that out. I don't know what this thick fog is, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back on the Gemano Pass trail, and I'll make a determination when I get to Gemano Pass on whether or not I'm gonna spend the night or not. One thing I don't want to do is I don't want to get stuck out here in a snowstorm. Okay, broken down my rod, and I'm gonna head on over to Gemano Pass. I should be about, I don't know, 2.5 trail miles from Sardine Lakes, and so I'll go over there and see what it's like, see if it's someplace I want to spend the night. The trail should be up this way. Come all this way, might as well see what the view is like on the other side of the pass. So here's the pass looking out towards the Gemano Basin, and I guess down in there was where I was originally thinking about setting up camp. Follow the trail down into that valley and it goes to Parker Lake. I think, based on all the signage here, I suspect I am officially outside of the park. Let's check. Yep, this is the park border. No dogs or firearms permitted in the park. 9.8 miles to Tuolumne Meadows. And then on the other side, we've got Parker Pass elevation. Oh, 11,100 feet. I didn't realize it was that high. And this is how you would go to Gem Lake and to Devil's Post Pile. So I'm gonna follow the trail to Gemano Pass. Sure is nice up here though. I love this wilderness. It's just too early for me to think about setting up camp somewhere. It's just, what is it? It's 3:45. So I've got 3 more hours of light left. Yeah, by the time I get to Gemano Pass, you know, maybe I'll start thinking about setting up camp. I don't know, we'll see. think that's smoke. So I was concerned it was a storm of some sort, but I can smell it now, and that's a lot of smoke. Wow, so now it's hot again. The wind stopped and the sun is out, and it's probably gone from, I don't know, 50 to 65 in a quarter of a mile. Let's see what's up here. Okay, so that's Gemano Pass down there. Huh. I wonder if I can see the lakes from here. Okay, that's Gemano Lake there in the distance. Sardine lakes are further down in the valley. This is Gemano Pass, and that's Summit Lake right there. Boy, it's chilly on this side, that's for sure. Doesn't look so bad though. Huh. You know, I'm gonna go down this way. Since that's the pass, the trail is gonna go that way. I'm just gonna go cross country here and hit the trail. So I think I'll do. So I'm gonna go down this way, skirt across, go through that opening, go across the meadow, and then see if I can find the lakes. Okay, that was a nice little cross-country jaunt. Haven't found the trail yet. It's going to be on the other side of this valley. It wouldn't be Yosemite if I wasn't walking through a boggy, marshy tarn. This is cool. I heard there was an old mine up here. Yeah, look at that. Old cabin and everything. I see the trail, and I see somebody on the trail. So I found the perfect spot to spend the night. And there was somebody camped right around the corner. So I guess if I can find a good place, I'll camp. If not, I'll head back. Okay, so I've come around Summit Lake, and I'm gonna head down the trail, see how far Sardine is. Well, I'm still walking. Haven't found a suitable campsite yet, and I tell you, if I don't find something soon, I'm just gonna turn around and head back to the trailhead. If I can't find something by 5, and I'm just gonna hike out. Well, here's Upper Sardine Lake. That looks boggy down in there. Maybe somewhere to camp in those trees. Yeah, I don't know. Something in the back of my head is just telling me not to stay here tonight. I'm just not feeling it. So yeah, I'm gonna head back to the trailhead, and I guess I'm gonna head home. This is my last trip of the season. It was good. I mean, I caught plenty of fish at Spillway. Parker Pass Lake was absolutely beautiful. I'm really enjoying the exploring. Summit Lake. Summit Lake looked like it'd be a cool place to spend the night, but just not feeling upper Sardine Lake for whatever reason. So I guess I don't know. It's about close to 5 o'clock. It's probably going to be a 3-hour hike back to the car. As I said, this is going to be my last high country trip of the season. After this, it's going to be Western Sierra, Central Coast. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some snow camping in this year. Not quite sure how things will go, but I may find myself in the Immigrant later in the fall if the snow doesn't come in. And yeah, so I guess that's a wrap for my high country season. I appreciate everybody watching the videos, and if you enjoyed this season, that's great. Thank you for watching the videos. I really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed this one, despite the way that it's ending. Thanks for watching. I think I'll go home and spend some time with my wife. Wow, smoke is bad. So I think I made the right choice. Something was telling me not to stay up here tonight, and the smoke has rolled in and it's thick, thick, thick. Yeah, I think that was a good decision. Well, where does this go? So that one goes to Gemano Pass. Oh, and this one goes to Parker Pass, of course. Of course. So this is where, had I kept going, this is where I would have come out. And the trail is 3.4 miles to Tioga Road. So, that's probably going to be roughly an hour and a half. So I came prepared for the smoke.